Good morning, everybody. We have a lower to sharply lower trade in the grain markets here early on Monday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. July corn futures down 12 cents at 643 and a quarter. December corn down 16 and a quarter cents at 550. July soybeans down 16 and a half at 13.79 last trade. November soybeans down 25 and three quarters at 12.87 and a quarter. July Chicago wheat down 7.5 cents at 655 and a quarter. July Kansas City wheat down 8 cents at 598 and a half. July spring wheat down 5.5 cents at 757. If you're listening on the podcast, as always, appreciate it. Leave me a review, leave me a rating if you have not already. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you like the channel. Help me to continue doing this, help this channel to grow. If you need some additional assistance from me, go to my website. It is www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan in the upper right-hand corner. For $49 a month, I offer a subscription service. You can get a whole bunch of information from me for $49 a month. I send out my morning email at 6:30 a.m. Central Time every single business day. I have a text message service that accompanies that. I now offer subscriber-only videos and content, which is included here. And these are videos that are blasted out just about every day that I discuss everything from the markets to grain marketing to capture and carry to weather, all sorts of different items. I've been doing a Sunday weather video every Sunday morning during the summer this year. So if you're interested in this, $49 a month, billed to your credit card automatically. You can cancel at absolutely any time. Weather, of course, is the big topic of conversation here, I think, for the most part. Some areas of the Corn Belt saw rain over the weekend. Areas that saw the best amounts include southern Iowa, northern Missouri, parts of western Illinois. There were some other parts in Illinois that did okay. Central Indiana did okay. Southern Michigan, southwest Ohio. There were a lot of areas on the map that saw precipitation, but a lot of these amounts were not very good. I mean, a tenth up to a half an inch maybe for a lot of areas of the Corn Belt, and I do have some maps I can show you here this morning. There were some good areas, but a lot of these areas missed out. Like you look at Iowa, and yeah, it looks like it rained everywhere in Iowa, but these amounts for a lot of northern Iowa, northwest Iowa in particular, were very minimal. It's really that southern area that caught the most. A lot of that drifted into western Illinois. Indiana did okay. There's some rain on the radar this morning too over Kansas and northern Oklahoma. I'm not sure of the amounts or what's being reported there. This is all kind of happening in real time. So the forecast looks wetter. I mean, this is wetter than what we saw going home on Friday. But you've still got some areas that are problematic that are going to remain dry. You look at North Dakota, which is a big drought area. South Dakota, which is extremely dry. Nebraska is kind of on the dry side. Very little relief there over the next 7 days. Down into Kansas, not much there. Maybe a little bit more in Oklahoma. The central and eastern area, these central and eastern areas look wet, though. I mean, you've got at least half of Iowa looks fairly wet, a lot of Illinois, a lot of the eastern Corn Belt. So, I mean, it looks like we're going to have kind of a divide here, the way that it looks. You're going to have these central and eastern areas that are better in terms of precipitation, and you're going to have these western areas that are left high and dry. How is the market going to reconcile this? I'm not too sure. Here's your 6 to 10 day maps, and this dry pocket here on the 6 to 10 day map is creeping further east, as far east as northern Illinois now. So some people might read this and say the extended stuff is maybe a little bit bullish as we get into the month of July. You certainly wouldn't know it by looking at the markets this morning. Now the moves today these look like big moves, guys, but they're not. I mean, compared to what we saw Thursday and Friday last week, we are trading this morning, or overnight rather. The December corn contract traded entirely within Friday's range. The November soybean contract traded entirely within Friday's range on the charts. So these are not huge moves. We're just in an environment here where the ranges are very, very big. There are some stories here outside of weather. China's soybean imports from Brazil were up 82% in May versus April. Chinese customs data showed that 9.23 million metric tons, that's about 339 million bushels of soybeans, were imported from Brazil in May, up from about 5 million in April. Imports in May were up 4.2% versus the same month last year. Imports from the U.S. during May were down 50% versus the same month last year. Overall, during the first part of 2021, Chinese imports from the U.S. of soybeans were up sharply. Brazilian imports were down sharply. But I think that given that monster Brazilian crop, which was recently harvested, you're going to see some really strong imports from Brazil here moving forward. China reportedly bought 8 cargoes of new crop U.S. soybeans. This is according to a Reuters report. It has not been confirmed yet. Traders will be on the lookout for a confirmation of some new crop business to China in soybeans maybe today or tomorrow. This would be the largest Chinese purchase of U.S. beans in at least 4 months, if confirmed. Not really much in terms of fresh news regarding this Biden EPA story. So 2 weeks ago, we heard reports that the EPA and the Biden administration were seeking ways to somehow provide relief to oil refiners in regard to their biofuel obligations. We really didn't hear much beyond that. We then saw last week a group of representatives from Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota. They wrote a letter to the EPA asking that any such relief be rejected. You saw a sharp fall in RIN prices, but they kind of stabilized late last week. So this is a story that's still kind of in limbo here, I guess. We'll wait to see what the next issue is. The U.S. dollar has moved sharply higher following that Fed news last week. Now, the dollar is just slightly lower here this morning, but since last Tuesday's close, the Fed meeting or announced minutes were on Wednesday. The dollar's gained like 1.5%. The Bloomberg Commodity Index is down 3% during that same time frame. So the Fed moves markets here with this talk about higher interest rates in 2023 rather than 2024. Certainly something to be aware of. July grain options expire on Friday. If you have some July grain options, make sure you take a look at those. First notice day for July grain futures is June 30th. I'll talk about the CFTC report tomorrow. That report was delayed due to the Juneteenth holiday. So I'll have fund tracker charts for all my customers tomorrow morning rather than this morning. Cattle market finished marginally higher on Friday. Cash trade was mostly 122 in the south, 124 in the north. The box beef market was down $2 to $3 on Friday, so a little bit lower there. The outside markets here this morning, we've got the S&P up 14 points. The Dow Jones is up 150. Gold's up 13 bucks. Silver's up a little bit. U.S. dollar again marginally lower. Crude oil is up about 5 cents in the August WTI 71.34. Bonds are up a little bit. Everybody have a wonderful day today. I will talk to you same time tomorrow.